needs to go into the pitch, bowl the ball back of a length and not give the batter much to work with, and he's done that on 3 occasions now into the pitch, and he's got a strong field set to support this type of bowling as well. As I mentioned, when the skipper Stewart was bowling, to probably have the mid-off in the 7 instead of long off, Cottrell has gone with that option, and he's got a third man and a sweep on the offside with a long on, deep mid-wicket and deep backward square, and he's been very disciplined to that as well. Again, going into the pitch for a 4th ball in a row.
Yeah, and I don't think they'll mind the ones.
This is where Cottrell's experience is going to be invaluable for the Americans.
No ball.
Because
And
obviously,
that's a
having
six.
lost
A massive
2 wickets quickly there in the past few overs, the Windies are trying
Cracking way to get off the mark.
rebuild their innings, and to get away with a few overs here quickly is going to be very, very valuable for the Americans.
Got to go back and start that one again.
It doesn't seem to be timed well.
Yeah, this has been a good first over from Sheldon Cottrell. Get that squeeze on, make them then feel like they have to start making something happen. Yes, Finley's been out there since the middle, but he has slowed down. He's going at 100 strike rate. Jonathan Fu yet to find his rhythm. Just the 3 from 7 for him so far, and just the 3 coming from this first Cottrell over.
And that's a 6. A massive one.
This is a run-out opportunity. The wicket-keeper misses.
Way to get off the mark.
Great opportunity there. Finley got wrapped on the third pad, just took off running, didn't know where the ball went. Keeper scampered across quickly. Brilliant work. Only thing missing was for him to hit the target. Had a bit more time than he probably thought there. He could have gathered himself, because Finley didn't try to even get back into his crease. He was that far down. He stood and looked with his fate in the wicket-keeper's hands, and fortunately for him, the keeper missed the stump and he lives to fight another day. But
yeah, well, we saw him with that run out earlier, didn't we? To get rid of Hamilton. Absolutely fantastic bit of work. Off balance, came out from behind the stumps in absolute screamer of a run out. This one was slightly more regulation, but like you say, he perhaps went a bit too early, had more time than he realised he did. He had a chance to get himself set. He had all 3 stumps to aim at.
And that's a 6. A massive one.
Fu works this away into the short swirly area.
Cracking way to get off the mark.
From the 45 runs around and picks it up. Another single. Score moves on to 91 for 3 here.
I was just having a look at Sheldon Cottrell out in front of us. He looked like he was just shaking his leg a bit at the end of that last over, but he seems all right.
Fast, full wide, mixing it up here. Just a bit too wide, but not trying to give the batter in Finley too much of the same thing. Finley's strike rate has come down to exactly 100 now, so that reflects as to how much control the Americans bowlers have had on proceedings of the past 4 to 5 overs.
Well, Hamza really liked that, didn't he? I mean, I think he was pretty much the only one went up for it, but there was a repeating call, and there's now a wry smile on the face of the bowler.
Yeah, I think Hamza was the only one in all of most of that like that.
It's darted in, and they'll just come through for the one.
Doesn't seem to be timed.
Yeah, like I was saying, Sheldon Cottrell looked like he was just sort of shaking his leg a little bit. Don't know what he might have done in that over. I don't know. I think he's just getting into the rhythm a bit. He seems absolutely fine now. Looks like he's just got cold hands.
Not sure he's had a chance to warm up. He's just come straight onto the field, and there's a wicket. Hamza liked this one as well. Jonathan Fu coming forward, being wrapped on the pad. Straight on, not much spin on offer here, and the Windies are falling away. The Americans are coming back into it. Wicket to wicket stuff.
And
You
that's
miss,
a
I hit.
six. A massive one.
Yeah, it's really good work that by Hamza, who was the only one
Cracking way
appealing
to get
really
off the
again
mark.
there, but the umpire was convinced. And actually, yeah, really good. 4 wickets down now. This American side, obviously, the Windies got off to that hell of a start. And they've been dragged back. Some economical bowling, wickets falling at regular intervals now.
It doesn't seem to be timed well.
And that'll bring Raj Nanan out to the middle.
The Americans will be definitely happier of the two teams at the moment. Striking regularly, restricting the scoring. And the Windies will need a partnership from these two left-handers at the crease at the moment.
And that's a 6. A massive one.
Ideally for them, this is the pair that they would want to spend some time with as
Cracking
well,
way
to
to get off the
navigate
mark.
Hamza, the left-arm spinner, and Cottrell, the left-arm seamer. Sort of set a platform. If these two can bat for another four overs, set a platform for the end. If they can get them up to 120. Having said that, Raj Nanan has heard my calls.
Well, that is one way to get off the mark, isn't it?
He's heard my calls and said, none of that. That's not happening today. First ball over, wide long on for 6. What a way to get off the mark and announce yourself. Raj Nanan is here.
Yeah, hello American Premier League. Look what I can do from ball 1.
Raj needed the game to start a bit earlier. The IPL auction was
And that's a 6. A massive
just a
one.
bit earlier than that first ball 6.
Cracking way
Well,
to
that
get
was
off
good
the
recovery,
mark.
the final ball. So the last 3 balls of that over. Wicket 6 dot. It's got it all. So end of 12. The Windies 99 for 4. I really like what I'm liking seeing as well. Yes, obviously teams playing against each other, but there's a lot of fist pumping and handshakes and sort of hellos going on out there. You know, there's players that have seen each other around the
doesn't seem
world
to be
and around
timed
different
well.
places for a long time, and then they're out there playing against or with each other. So it's, yes, competitive, but all played in very good nature at the same time.
The camaraderie seems to be of the highest standard here. Fair play awards, both teams would be very high ranking at the moment, which is good. You always want the game to be played competitively, but in good spirits. Cottrell goes short and he hits him. He's hit Finley here. I'm not sure.
And that's
Yes,
a
he's been hitting the
6.
helmet.
A
Yeah,
massive
helmet's
one.
coming off.
The game seems to be carrying on.
Cracking
I
way
know
to get
that
off the mark.
physio should be running on and doing a concussion test. That was quick and short. Before Finley could get through his shot, Cottrell was onto him, hit him in the helmet. Need to have him checked out.
Yeah, nasty. I wouldn't want to be on the other end of that one. I'd be ducking and lying on the
Doesn't
floor.
seem to be timed well.
I think that was a surprise as well, as Cottrell's first over was mostly solid length ball, so wouldn't be expecting anything like this.
And comes up with the wide down the leg side. Interesting as well, because we were saying how we weren't seeing too much coming out of the pitch, but Cottrell found something there and he got that bounce. He's not a short player,
No ball.
And
and
that's
he's
a
managed to
6.
wrap him on the head.
A massive one.
Shot from Raj Nanan going out to mid-off.
Cracking way to get off the mark.
Man moving around quickly, restricting them to a single.
Yeah, I've been impressed by the fielding so far, the Americans actually. They seem really on it.
It's been a great fight back for them.
It doesn't seem to be
Trying to
well.
restrict the Windies to...
Well, that has gone miles.
The impressive thing about that is Cottrell beat him through the ear with the slower ball, and he's just taken his bottom hand off the bat, and he's completely cleared the ground with a one-handed six. Beautiful shot by Sean Finley here. Over the man at long on. Oh, over the man at long on for six.
No ball.
And that's a 6. A massive
Just let go
one.
of it as well, gone one-handed.
This
Cracking way
one
to get off the mark.
beats him on the outside edge through to the keeper.
The left armour to left-hander.
Doesn't seem to be timed well.
Just tucks him up a little bit for room, manages to get away and scamper through for the one.
Score moves on to 109.
Yeah, short again. Well kept down
No
by
ball.
Nanan.
And that's a 6. A massive one.
Good work from Cottrell here. His 2 overs
Cracking
going
way
for
to get off the
13
mark.
runs. Take away that 6. Shows you how consistent he's been in restricting the batters from having too many scoring opportunities. So
I feel that just breaking up this partnership, and the Americans would really feel that
Doesn't
they
seem
were
to
on
be timed
top.
well.
We've seen both of them can hit big, and sort of once you get them 5 down, you start heading towards that lower order. I feel they can really keep them to something.
the key for this match seems to be held by Sean Finley at the moment. He's been that one constant throughout the innings for the Windies team.
And it's interesting as well because it's like we were saying earlier, he's not actually looked particularly comfortable at times, but he's there and he's stayed and he's still working it away.
A 6. A
And that
massive
actually, straight as an arrow, is going to be another 4 to his bank.
That has been powered down
Cracking
the
way to
ground.
get off the mark.
As again, as you said, it hasn't looked as fluent as Finley would have probably wanted, but he's somehow managed to find a way to score, which is the most important thing, and he's sticking around. He's helping to put up a fist and make a good scoring option here for the
Doesn't seem to be timed well.
Americans with a new interesting fielding position there. The skipper Stewart just standing on the circle behind the bowler for Finley. Finley moves on to 47.
Just the one.
No ball.
And that's a 6. A massive one.
Cracking way to get
Well,
off the
Windies
mark.
are the defending champions in this tournament. They won the inaugural series 2 years ago, back in 2021. Seems a long time ago now, doesn't it? We're on the precipice of 2024 here. That's just into the body.
It's missed out there, full toss on leg, no one behind square inside the circle on the leg
Doesn't seem
side.
to be timed well.
Slightly short and just over the leaping salmon.
That interesting field position there has almost brought about a wicket. That man standing on the circle behind the bowler's head. man at long on, running around, diving and pulling it back in. So he's restricted them to 2. Finley on to 49. Score on to 115.
No ball.
And that's
So
a
6
six.
overs left
A
in the
massive
game.
one.
Windies 117 for 4.
Cracking way to get
They
off the
have
mark.
got Finley out there eyeing up a half century. The left-handed opener. Rajnanan, well, he came out and he stamped his authority on ball 1, didn't he? Launching it for 6 over long on. He's been kept quiet since then, but he's also not really had a lot of the strikes. Only faced 5 deliveries.
Will be interesting
Doesn't
to
seem
see
to be timed well.
how the next 6 overs play out. What would be in the minds of the Windies team as a good score here. Likewise, what would be in the minds of the Americans team here as a good score to defend the Windies to and try and restrict them.
Well, he comes down the pitch, goes high, and 2 fielders come together. It's a bit of a misfield, but they do prevent the boundary. And
No ball.
I mean, there's laughter from the bowler.
And
He's
that's
finding it
a
funny.
6. A
Well,
massive
that
one.
was a slower ball. If I've ever seen a slow
Cracking
ball.
way to get off the mark.
That one took quite a bit of time to get to the batter, who even advanced down the track there.
Very short, and it's found the top edge. It'll land safe, and it just plugs. It's still plugging. We mentioned this slow outfield earlier, but that's just not gone anywhere.
And that brings up the 50 for Sean Finley. First 50
Doesn't seem
of
to be timed
season
well.
2 of the APL. Well played to Sean Finley. 50 off 45 balls. Giving his team a foundation to work from.
Well, Nanan joins the party again. 1 bounce 4. Takes on the pace.
Nanan's hitting the
No
ball
ball.
beautifully here. He seems to
And
be the
that's
only
a
batter
6.
that's
A massive
come
one.
to the crease that has just found that level of timing
Cracking way
and
to get off the mark.
power that's been able to find that combination of the two and get the ball away freely. It's down the track this time. He's got a glove on it, but the keeper's dropped it. Dropped on the leg side from Nanan, who's being hitting the ball well, but decided to come down the track this time and almost lost
Doesn't
his
seem
wicket.
to be timed well.
Shortish again. Arms go up, appeal goes up, finger goes up. Celebrations all round. Rajnanan struck on the pad. And he's got to go for 13.
Rajnanan with an
No ball.
enterprising wicket here.
And that's a
Enterprising
6.
innings,
A
sorry.
massive one.
Had a bit of everything there from Rajnanan.
Cracking way to get off the mark.
Impactful innings. Possibly the one that sort of ignites the rest of the innings for the Windies team. That one didn't bounce at all. Cross, Seam rolled his fingers over it as well, the bowler. Didn't get up, hit Rajnanan right in front of the middle stump. So he's gone for
Doesn't seem to be
13 from
timed
9
well.
balls. Now we have Terence Hines coming to the wicket.
Yeah, second wicket for Naveen. Inside 3 overs. Well, we talked about breaking that partnership. And perhaps not quite the one they would have wanted, but they'll take either. And they've really slowed down these Windies batters. Some good work in the field, some tidy bowling.
No ball.
And it's
that's a
one of my
6.
favourite scores at the
A
moment. It's
massive
1, 2,
one.
3, 4, 5.
Cracking way to get off the mark.
So 1 to come in this, the 15th over. It's Terence Hines. Adjust his gloves and has a boogie.
Terence Hines can be a dangerous ball striker. And the Americans would want to get rid of him as quickly as possible. And they have.
Seem to be timed well.
One ball. So skipper Nathan Stewart, also a fellow Trinidadian, would have done his homework on Terence Hines. Goes pace off again.
Yeah, you miss, I hit. And
Wicket
now
to wicket stuff here. You miss, I hit. And he's been hitting.
yeah, well, end of 15 overs. Terence Hines, he comes and he goes very quickly. The Windies, 123 for 6. Well, when
No
Naveen
ball.
comes back on again to bowl, because that was the end of his
And
over,
that's
he'll be
a 6.
opening
A
up the over
massive one.
on a hat-trick.
Well, we've got
Cracking weight to get off the mark.
Junior coming to the wicket here. Again, another long-term teammate of mine for our regional team, the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. He was actually the MVP of the recently concluded 50-over tournament in the Caribbean. Lots thought that he would have been
Doesn't seem to be timed
reselected to the West Indies limited overs teams. Not to be, or not to be quite yet, let me say. Joint leading wicket taker with Sunil Narayan, I think 20 scalps apiece. 200 plus runs at an average of 40 plus, and probably joint best field in the Caribbean with Fabian Allen. So
well. No ball.
So not a bad
And
person to
that's
have in the
a
side then.
6. A massive one.
correct. There is nothing that he doesn't do on the cricket field, and
Cracking way to get off the mark.
good person as well. Very nice guy to be around. Actually, my roommate. So Finley goes bang into the leg side. I'm going to take matters into my own hands. Full toss on the hips. 6 more to Finley. He's been the batter that's been in from the start of the innings. I'm not
Doesn't
sure.
seem to be timed well.
I think it's a belated half-century celebration.
Yeah, his teammates seem to have forgotten to celebrate the 50, so now they'll celebrate him on 56. Nonetheless, he's going to be an important cog in whatever end result score the Windies get up to here. He goes down the ground, just clearing that man at short mid-on as well. So, taking matters into his own hands here, Finley.
Yeah, and I think that's the right approach at this. You know, only 4 and a bit
And
overs to go.
that's a 6.
We've still got 4
A
wickets in the hut, and yes, his time's not look comfortable, but he is the set batter, and he needs to take
Cracking
on
way
these
to get
bowlers
off
if
the
they
mark.
really want to try and push up to sort of that 150 and beyond. And I think the game at the moment should be get him on strike.
100%, and exactly what Hayden Walsh does off of the first ball he's faced. He's pushed it out to the man on the cover boundary for a single, brings Finley back into strike.
It doesn't seem to be timed well.
Heavy outfield. Finley gets an outside edge just over the man at point. Doesn't run away too far, so he's only able to collect a single.
That's well dug
No
out
ball.
along the ground.
And that's a 6. A massive one.
And again gets Finley back on strike.
Cracking way to get off the mark.
Finley seems to be in the mood of trying to take on the leg spin here. Goes hard down the ground to long off, but Sheldon Cottrell is in the way and stops it from going to the boundary. So just another single, which closes out the over on
Doesn't seem to be timed
134
well.
for 6 with 4 overs left. Finley on 59 and Hayden Walsh Jr. on 2.
Yeah, well, that's the story of the day so far. The standout batter, by no doubt, Sean Finley. And now he's just being kept company by Hayden Walsh Jr., who just has to get Finley back on strike
No ball.
as they try and push up towards sort of 150.
And that's a 6.
But also
A
interesting that
massive one.
17 extras in there. That's something the Americans might want to have a look at and have a
Cracking way to get
think
off the
about.
mark.
There's not been many other contributions. Having a look at the scorecard here, just 3 other batters, along with Finley getting into double figures and extras being the 4th. So the Americans have had a very good day today with the ball, all told, when you add in that the extras are 17, because if you take away that 17 runs and the start that the Windies had, it would have been a different game completely. So the Americans will be looking to close out here, and if they can, they'd definitely like to get another 4 wickets. The Windies, on the other hand, trying to score as many as possible. Finley goes down to long off. The guy comes around.
Yeah, it's well fielded actually in the end there. He sort of almost
And
ran
that's
past
a
it, wrong-footed
6.
himself.
A massive
And it was
one.
hit with quite some oomph.
Marlon Richards, that is. Seems to be
Cracking way to get
signaling
off the
that ball
mark.
is snaking a bit in the outfield, but managed to hold on to the tail of the snake, stop it from going away from him. Hayden Walsh Jr. dropping it into mid-wicket, getting Finley right back on strike.
Yeah, doing exactly what he needs to do. That's his job right now. Take the
Doesn't
ones.
seem to be timed well.
Finley could be eyeing up a red inker here if he carries on the same way. That's nicely defended. So 136 up on the board. At a time it looked like 160 might have been on for this Windy side at the beginning if they carried on in the same vein they started with, but have been pegged back massively by this
No ball.
American side. And Finley looks like
And
he's struggling a
that's a
little bit out in the
6.
middle. Not sure if it's a bit of
massive
cramp
one.
or just because he's been out there quite a while. As he looks to club that one away.
Cracking way
It'll
to get
just
off
be
the
the
mark.
one into the leg side as square leg comes around and does the fielding. But glorious day here at the Moser Stadium in Texas.
It doesn't seem to be timed well.
The 2 left-handers out there with the bat in the middle. Yeah, good tidy over. Well, that's 4 overs done for Naveen. He picks up 3 for 23. Not a bad day at the office for him. Just 3 coming off his final over. So at the end of 17, 3 overs to go. The Windies 137 for 6.
No ball.
Now they're just
And
a few
that's
discussions
a
out in the middle of
6.
who's
A
going to take on the
massive
final
one.
3. Another wicket would be absolute gold
Cracking way
dust
to get off
for
the
this
mark.
American team. Break this partnership. They can get rid of Finley, then they'll be feeling pretty good about keeping them down to something chaseable. Yeah, look at that. The opening partnership, almost a half century, and then wickets falling at fairly regular
Doesn't
intervals.
seem to be timed well.
That 2 in 2 balls. The most recent of those, and it looks like Sheldon Cottrell's gonna have a change of ends. The West Indian international playing for the Americans against the Windies. Just adjusting his field.
No ball.
And that's a 6. A massive
Still
one.
a breeze.
Cracking way to get off the mark.
Well, that has come out the hand, not how he intended, and that will be signalled wide. Just got stuck in the hand of Sheldon Cottrell. He turns, he jumps, and he goes straight away. And that's clubbed back past him up to the fielder
Doesn't seem to be timed
at
well.
mid-off. Good recovery, kept it wide. Well, it's up in the air. Fielder coming in, can't get there, just the one bounce.
No ball.
But they're taking the aggressive
And
route now. They
that's
know
a six.
they're coming
A
towards the
massive
end of
one.
this first innings, these Windies batters.
Cracking
Well,
way to
Sean
get off the
Finley,
mark.
been out there since the beginning. 62 from 54 for the left-handed opener. And that's short, and it's hit back again past the bowler. Up to mid-on, long on, I should say. And good bit of work in the field, applauded by Cottrell, the bowler.
Doesn't seem to be timed well.
Cottrell again over the wicket. Well, that's skewed up in the air. It's gone to deep backward skirt leg, and it's deep third man even, and it's sort of skewed at a strange angle. Had a bit of spin on it. He didn't know where it had gone. The fielders didn't know where it had gone.
No ball.
And
And
that's
landed
a
safe in the end and was
six. A
picked up in the
massive one.
field. And they come back for two.
Cracking way to get off the mark.
Again, looks to club it into the leg side. Well, Sheldon Cottrell's finding something funny. He's a bit of a chuckle from the
Doesn't seem
bowler.
to be timed well.
Again, short, mistimed. Well, that 150 is very much looking on the cards. 18 overs gone, 2 to come. Windies 145 for 6. And Sean Finley is the man of the moment at the moment. 64 from 56 for him, accompanied by Hayden Walsh with his runner ball 7.
ball.
And that's a six. A massive one.
2 overs still to come.
Cracking way to get off the mark.
Well, Sabir Rab, he's picked up the 1 wicket so far from his 2 overs. He's going to take the important penultimate over, the 19th,
Doesn't seem
the
to be
crucial
timed
19th over for the Americans, hunting down another wicket. And a change of decision. It won't be him. So, Gerrard.
No ball.
Well, he's having a good day.
And that's a six. A massive
Gerard Erasmus giving us a thumbs up.
Cracking way to get off the mark.
Swing and a miss.
It doesn't seem to be timed well.
Well, Marlon Richards yet to pick up a wicket today. He's got the chance now. He's been given the honour of the 19th over. Gone for just 15 so far. That's not timed, and they're going to come back for the 2. Yeah, it's good running in the end, easy as you like. Sheldon Cottrell flings it in.
No ball.
And that's a 6. A massive one.
Cracking way to get off the mark.
Mullen round the wicket, and that's well kept out. And good running again. This has been really good running from this Windies side as we push towards the end of this innings.
It doesn't seem to be timed well.
148 on the board. Still 9 legitimate deliveries to come. Well, he used his feet, comes down the pitch and he swings through, he swings hard. And he looked like he was going to get 4 for that, but really quick work out in the field to cut it off before it reached the rope. And that's Sabir Ali out there.
No ball.
And that's a 6. A massive one.
Cracking way to get off the mark.
2 to come in this over, 4 so far. From it, no boundaries is always a good sign at this point, and that'll just be 1. Americans just trying to get this squeeze on, give themselves the momentum. If they can find a wicket, they'll get that momentum as they go into their batting, go into it feeling good, feeling strong, feeling unified as a team. Perhaps the smiliest man on the field at the moment, Gerard Erasmus, every time the camera finds him. Well, that's gone up very, very high. The fielder is in, should take it, and he's missed it. He's dropped it, put it down. Well, that would have been that momentum booster for the Americans just as they come towards the end of this innings. And that would have been Mullen's first wicket of the day. But as it stands,
Cracking way to get off the mark.
Sean Finley survives. And that brings up the 150 for the Windies. 150 for 6. Having won the toss and elected to bat the defending champions.
It doesn't seem to be timed well.
So just 6 deliveries to come. What can they make from these final 6? Sean Finley, he's been out there since the beginning. And he swings and that's gone up in the air. Sheldon Cottrell won't make the ground, but it will just be the one. Well, you can see what the intent is in this final over. Just swing hard, make contact and get your skates on.
That's a 6. A massive one.
Cracking way
Make
to
a very
get off the
smiley
mark.
bunch, the Windies players out to the left of me on their benches. Grins all round, and rightly so. And again, big swing. And wide long on comes out, does the fielding. Again, just the one. And you wouldn't mind this as an American. Well, this was the missed opportunity. Skewed and it went so high, it's almost taking out the drone. Just didn't get himself set too far forward, and it ended up soaring over his head. Short, clubbed away, one hand on the bat. Fielder comes around, takes the catch. Well, it's been a phenomenal innings from Sean Finley. He came out to open, but he has to go. Sacrificed himself at the end, trying to boost those runs for his side, and he goes for 69. And it was a
way to get off the mark.
Masterful display. He's helped get his team up to a pretty competitive total. He sort of took one hand off the bat there, didn't quite get it, and it was well fielded in the end. 2 hands above the head, and he lifts his bat as he crosses the rope, and he's applauded by Sheldon Cottrell as he passes him. So 3 deliveries to come. Windies 153 for 7.
Sort of in the ballpark area of what I had in the back of my mind would be a good score on this pitch based on, I guess, how the pitch is playing and the outfield. So that 160 region is being put out there to the rest of the teams as sort of a,
No ball.
not necessarily a safe score, but a score that you can have a chance to win the match with them. So other teams will be taking
Way to
note
get
of
off the
this.
mark.
You can see some American players walking around in the stands on the far end.
And I think especially because they haven't really had it all their own way, these batters, and they've still managed to make the 153. And that's good running again, good awareness from the non-striker. Yeah, they started really strong and then pegged back, those wickets falling, good fielding by this American side. But yeah, the Windies still up to 154 with 2 to come. So you're sort of thinking any total, you want to be going north of 150 really on this pitch.
At a minimum, it seems to be sort of a safe area.
No ball.
And that's a 6. A massive
And he's
one.
gone. Lack of bounce again. Seems to be the
Tracking
undoing
way
of
to get off the
all
mark.
the Windies batters. Hayden Walsh swinging through, expecting a bit more than what was on offer. The ball stayed down while his head was up. Gonna have to have a word with him. For someone that's an avid golfer, you would know to keep your head down over the ball.
Doesn't quite stretch to my crazy golf, but yeah, he's gone top of middle, bails flying in all directions. So 1 to come. Now, what can Kirk Thompson do with this? Final delivery. Well, he swings and he swings hard into the leg side, and they're going to try and come back for 2. It's really good running in the end.
No ball.
They do pick up 2 off the final
And
ball
that's a 6.
of the
A
innings.
massive one.
So the Windies in their 20, they make 156 for 8.
Tracking way to get off the mark.
2 wickets in that over. The Americans need 157 to win the first game in this tournament, to beat the defending champions in the opening game of season 2 of the American Premier League. 157. It's not a bad score. 156 on the board. Set 157 as a target. We think that's about ballpark, yeah.
It's about ballpark. I think both teams would be happy. If anything, the Americans would probably be the happier of the two teams. Heading back into the dugout, the Windies will know that they have something that they can possibly have a chance to win the game with if they bowl well. Likewise, the Americans, after the start that the Windies had in the power play, did an amazing job to pull it back to only 156. So
And
they'd be
that's
happy
a
going in as
6.
well, knowing
A
that
massive one.
they've taken a lot of information away, bowling on the track and being
Tracking
able to
way
go
to get
in
off
and
the
plan,
mark.
okay guys, this is how have a strong chance of winning the game. So it makes for an interesting second half to this game.
Well, that card really, the one to write home about, obviously Sean Finley with that 69. A few contributions in there. And with the ball, it was Sabir Rao and Naveen Stewart picking up 3 apiece. And then just the one for Amir Hotak.
Stewart was definitely the pick of the bowlers here today. And if you look at what he did, wicket to wicket, obviously started trying to bowl a few short balls, etc. in his first over and a half, but then he realized that wicket to wicket pace off is what was going to serve him best today. And once he started doing that, he reaped the rewards, not only in terms of picking up those 3 wickets, but his economy rate of 5.75 stand out of all the bowlers with.
Well, there was an impressive performance with the bat, really, from the Windies in the end. They set 157 as the target for the Americans to win this game. And now we'll have a short break before we come back for the chase.
Doesn't seem to be timed well. No ball.
And that's a 6. A massive one.
A cracking way to get off the mark. Doesn't seem to be timed well. No ball.
And that's a 6. A massive one.
Cracking way to get off the mark. ball.
And that's a 6. A massive one.
Cracking way to get off the mark. Doesn't seem to be timed well. to get off the mark. Doesn't seem to be timed well. No ball.
And that's a 6. A massive one.
Cracking way to get off the mark. Doesn't seem to be timed well.
Interesting matches.
Well, we saw that team, we saw the Windies team get off to a pretty rapid start, and then it got slowed down a little bit. The opening pair were going along nicely, almost that 50 partnership. And so it'll be interesting to see how the Americans
A massive one.
go about their business as they begin this.
Cracking way to get off the mark.
Will be interesting indeed. Almost a wicket first ball, almost chopped out.
It doesn't seem to be timed well.
Opening up with spin, the Windies.
And he's bowling wicket to wicket. It's a very good start here
No
by
ball.
Raj Nanan.
And that's
Wicket to
a
wicket stuff. I like his
6. A massive
field
one.
set as well.
Well, we saw what he did with the first ball with the bat, didn't we? Launched it
Cracking
for
way
6.
to get off the mark.
And he doesn't give away much with the ball.
Yeah, really tidy. This is just what they wanted.
Looking to dispense with the slip now, adding that extra protection in the offside, having seen
Doesn't seem to be timed well.
Navanpreet show a propensity to want to hit the ball through the offside. And rightfully so, as Navanpreet goes down the ground for 4. Nanan missing his length and accepting that invitation was Navanpreet. Didn't miss out this time, found the gap straight down the ground. Outfield was quick enough, and the Americans are on their way. 4
No
runs.
ball.
And that's a 6. A massive one.
Good recovery.
This one to close out the over didn't bounce
Cracking way
much.
to get off the mark.
Well, just 4 from the first over. That chased that target 157. And a really tidy start from the Windies.
Opening up from this end seems to be Javon Sales.
It doesn't
For
seem
the
to be timed
Windies.
well.
Always nice to get that first game up and running, you know, to win the first game of the tournament, especially if you're the defending champions, which the Windies are, but to get that first one under your belt and know that you've got that momentum going into the rest of the tournament. You started well, you just have to continue from there. We've got
Cracking way to get off the mark.
lots of games still to come, but it's nice to get the first W on the board.
Takes away that pressure. You want to try and get yourselves into a good position for the latter stage of the tournament. So to try and get that initial victory, put yourselves on the board. Whether you've played well or not, as a team, it will do a lot for the team and for the morale of the group to settle them into the rest of the tournament.
Well, starts with the dot. Such a tidy start here from the Windies bowlers.
No ball.
And that's a 6. A massive one.
Doing away with the slips.
Cracking way to get off the mark.
Sears is going pace off into the pitch, as we've seen from his very first ball, and so they've figured that there's no need for a slip, and they've added protection, extra protection in the leg side. But there seems to be some confusion, and he's heading back into slip again.
It doesn't seem to be timed well.
And this one has been launched.
Well, that's massive.
By skipper Stewart all the way for 6.
That is absolutely massive. That's not just 6. That's gone over the rope, the boundary hoardings, the railings, and almost landed in the visiting team dressing room.
Well, Stewart has had a sighter off of that first ball. I think that's going to be one of the last balls we see pace on from Sears here today.
And
He's
that's a
made an
6.
adjustment in his
A
field,
massive
bringing
one.
the sweeper, went from the deep cover boundary up and sending back the long off.
Cracking way to get off the mark.
Well, that's really good bit of work behind the stumps. Launched himself to his left.
Here's a replay of that 6. Stewart actually came down the pitch a bit there, getting closer to the ball and extending his hands nicely
It
through
doesn't
that
seem
shot.
to be timed well.
Well, the bowler can't believe it. It's missed everything. It's missed the stumps, the keeper, and it's gone away for 4. Hands on head.
Fortune favours the brave here for Stewart, who's flashed hard at this one, getting an outside edge past the slip there. So
Well, you know what they say. If you're going to flash hard.
there you go. And now, interestingly
No
enough,
ball.
flash past slip and slip
And
comes out.
that's a 6.
It's one of
A
those
massive
phrases. It's very weird to describe to someone who doesn't know cricket.
Cracking way to get off the mark.
Stewart goes bang through mid-wicket here.
Yeah, really good use of the feet. He sort of stepped back, gave himself room, and gave it a good old wallop.
Stewart is definitely looking to maximise the power play here. What a start. He's already got 14 off this
Doesn't
over
seem
with
to be
one ball
timed
to
well.
come. And now the field again is being changed. So the long off comes into mid off and the mid on goes back to long on. Stewart showing a bit of dexterity there, opening up and trying to run it past the man at short third, but sort of hit it to
ball.
the man directly, so there's
And
no
that's
further
a 6.
damage
A
done there.
massive one.
Score remains on 18 without loss after
Cracking
2.
way to get off the mark.
Yeah, well, after a tidy first over, that one going for 14. And that's what the Americans would have wanted.
definitely what the Americans would have wanted. You've got the full team outside supporting their batters. Seems to be good team camaraderie there from them. And you can see that from their batters, feeling the support from their team, going out and being positive, trying to maximize this power play period. Nanan continues from the top, however, and is also continuing to just dart it into the pitch, wicket to wicket,
get off the mark.
not allowing for much room or many scoring opportunities.
Yeah, I like that they've continued with him. His first over was really tidy, got the pressure on early. And he is just darting it in, isn't he?
He is. And this one has been pushed out into the leg side where the man from long on comes in and does some fielding, restricts them to one. Brings Nevin straight on strike, however, who is the danger man here. Will be interesting to see his approach against the spin of Nanan as opposed to that last over of seam up, whether he'll try to go after the spinner here or whether he's waiting on seamers.
And that's a 6.
Down the track and he's bowled. Nevin Stewart's short stay comes to an end. He did try to continue going at the bowlers. Nanan, wicket to wicket, you miss, I hit, not much bounce.
He'd earned that one, hadn't he, as well? He bowled really tight, really tidy lines, especially in those sunglasses.
It's been the undoing of Skipper Stewart, but
It doesn't seem to be timed well.
I think he would have been sent out to have that impact in the power play, maximize the power play and get them off to a quick start. Unfortunately, he's been dismissed halfway through the third over.
Well, it brings the South African Gerard Erasmus to the middle. Every time we saw him on the camera earlier, he was having a smile or a thumbs up or a grin of some form.
A 6, a massive one.
Well, he's with bat in hand now, so it's
Let's hope he's not giving us the thumbs up while he's trying to bat.
a bit more serious endeavour for him now. So let's see if he's still smiling or if he's all business workmanlike now, tools in hand.
It doesn't seem to be timed well.
It's off the mark, and it could. That's well fielded. And so again, it's that slow outfield, just trickling away and caught up by the long strides of the fielder. But Erasmus is up and running.
To get off the mark.
I think that there's an extra ball in the over here because that last ball should have been the end of the over, but they've managed to sneak a 7-ball over in, which may come back and have some sort of added impact
Doesn't seem to be timed well.
on the game with that extra single, but we'll see how that works out.
So the end of 3 overs, Premium Americans 21 for 1. And that Windies lineup, it was Sean Finley's day. He came out at the beginning. The only reason he really lost his wicket was the end. He was just trying to hit big in the final over.
No ball.
and just didn't quite get a hold of it, let go of his
And
bat.
that's a 6.
But it was really,
a massive one.
it was just the Sean Finley batting performance that
Cracking
is
weight
the
to
one
get
that
off the
stands
mark.
out. The others, no one particularly to write home about. Problem for the Americans with those 19 extras as well. But still managed to get themselves up to a pretty good 156, and so Americans needing 135 more to chase that down.
It doesn't seem to be timed well.
We're going to have a change in bowling here. Javon Sales having an expensive first over, and with only 135 more being required, skipper Hamilton has gone to Mario Lebon, who starts
No
with
ball.
good
And
length ball
that's
that
a
was
6.
tucked
A
away to
massive
man
one.
a deep backward square for a single.
Cracking weight to get off the mark.
It's going to be interesting
Doesn't
to
seem
see
to be timed well.
how the Windies go about things here, because I don't think it's going to be a matter of them bowling 20 overs to the Americans. If they bowl 20 overs, the Americans will win the match. So they need to try and find ways of creating wicket-taking opportunities here, which is the only thing that will keep them alive in this game.
No ball.
And that's a 6. A
This is
massive
good
one.
express pace from LeBron.
Cracking weight to get
Nipping
off the
back
mark.
at the batter as well. Wasn't expecting it to come back that sharply. Cut him in half.
It doesn't seem to be timed well.
Again. Beaten in between bat and pad. Length ball. So LeBron seems to be getting a bit more out of this pitch from his height than Sales
No
was
ball.
able to extract in his early over.
And that's a 6. A massive one.
That's well fielded, that as well.
Cracking weight to get off the mark.
So how tall is he, Mario LeBron?
Not sure. I'd say from my vantage point, he looks to be 6'5", 6'6", quite a tall guy. Using that height well, there's not been much an
Doesn't
offer
seem to be
in
timed
terms
well.
of bounce from this pitch for many of the other bowlers, but he seems to be getting it to bounce quite well. Quick single there, taking on Hayden Walsh at backward point. Hayden won't be too happy about that. Misfielding, allowing them through for a single. Score moves on to 25 for 1 after 4. Very good start, tidy start from
No ball.
LeBron, 1 over 3
And
runs,
that's
3
a
dot balls as
6.
well.
A massive one.
Cracking weight to get off the mark.
Interestingly here, Nanan is going to be brought in for his 3rd over in the power play, so they're going to get rid of most of the overs in his spell inside the power play. So I guess they're backing the other bowlers to come trumps once the power play is finished.
I quite like this decision, actually, from the captain, because he is
Doesn't
making
seem to
things
be
happen.
timed
He's
well.
had that breakthrough as well. He was really tidy in the first over too, so keep that pressure on early, push that run rate up early, and then force him to have to start trying to do something, which is then when the wickets start to fall. So I like this. He's in the rhythm and they're struggling to read him.
That's a beautiful shot,
No
going
ball.
through the offside for 4.
And that's a 6.
So-
a massive one.
On the rare occasion that Nanan has strayed,
Cracking
He's
way
been
to get off the
punished.
mark.
through the offside here by Navanpreet. Score moves up to 30, Navanpreet up to 10.
It's good recovery.
Back on his line that he preferred to operate. He's done an amazing job so far in terms of his
Doesn't seem to be
economy rate,
timed
because Navanpreet, for example, is on 10 of 15 balls. So he's been able to contain the batters and keep control of this game from the Windies standpoint.
Again, darted in that time. Fielder apologises for the rocket arm.
No ball.
And that's
And
a
with just
6.
the one ball
a
left in the
massive
over,
one.
Erasmus is back on strike. Seems
Cracking
like
way
he's
to
been
get
out
off the
there
mark.
for some time now, but he's not getting much of the stroke. Backs away, slams it to the man at cover. Not able to get it through the field. Score remains on 31 for 1 after 5 overs.
Really, really good stuff, this from Rajnan.
Doesn't seem to be timed well.
Yes, 6 coming from that over, but he has been tidy, and like I said, I was really happy they kept him on for that third over, because he's got that pressure on. He's got them to start trying to think. You saw Erasmus there having to back away, think, how am I going to change this up, give myself that space, give myself the angle, and still can't get it through. So just putting that pressure on early and forcing them to have to start thinking about changing what they're trying to do to try and get up with that run rate. And just the one more over to come in the power play as well.
And
And we
that's
have
a
LeBron
6.
continuing.
A massive one.
He also had a very good first over, so they found a pair that
Cracking
are
way to get
restricting
off
the
the mark.
batters here. Starts with a dot.
Yeah, 6'5", so you're on the money with that one.
And making use of all 6'5" of that frame, getting the pitch to respond to him in a way that no one else seems to have had that type of response for the day.
Doesn't seem to be timed well.
Evident again in that delivery, that's just been chopped down to third man for a single. Score moves on to 32.
So they won't mind them dealing in singles at the moment.